Hello and welcome.
Wow. We're back on the show. Yay. We're still recording.
Welcome to the Church of Mark.
Hello, Cheri. Cheri Maracle is on the show today.
Sego. So good to be here. So good to see you.
It's good
like
to
in
have
person.
You. I know. It's been
great to see Laura in person.
That's right, our producer, Laura. It's been forever since we've actually had a chance to talk face to face.
Like, I don't think I've seen you for all of the pandemic.
That's right. It's been
18 months.
At least 18 months.
Yeah.
Because last time we saw each other, I don't even know when.
No, because I was working before that for a couple months. So it's been a very, very long time.
Right.
And I've missed you so.
I missed you too. I'm just drinking water. It's not coffee. Although I do have some fine bourbon in this glass by Bullet. If they want to sponsor us, they can.
And they should.
And they should. That's right. Great. So you still have been busy, even though everything's been shut down.
Okay. I was and I wasn't.
Okay.
You know, and before that, I feel like a jerk because I was always like, it's all in your head. Don't get down. And then I got super depressed. I was isolating alone. I got really, really, really depressed. And that was very hard. But prior to that, I was the lead in a series for the first time in my life called Unsettled. And we were up shooting in North Bay. And then we were shut down because of COVID, the pandemic. And so then I was off for 4 months. We went back. Finished a week and then was off for another month and then did another week and now it's in the can.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the can, that means it's done.
That means it's done.
Okay, great. And
that's not a comment on the material.
And when can we expect to see that?
Well, I haven't gotten specific dates, but it's going to be airing on APTN in the fall.
Okay.
And it was written by Jen Podemsky, directed by Jen Podemsky, written by Derek Diorio, directed by him as well. And it was a lot of work. I had to learn Ojibwe.
Okay, great.
And as soon as I said the lines, it went out of my brain. So I'd like to show my Ojibwe off now, but
please do.
No, it's gone, is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's gone. Oh, sorry. Okay.
As soon as the audition's done, the lines are gone. As soon as the show's done, the lines are gone.
Do you know the basics? Like at least Bojo Ani?
Yes, Bojo.
That's right. Okay. Cheri Maracle, Indigenous. Okay.
It's sort of, yeah. Bumapee.
So you have been keeping busy. Of course, you also do a lot of theater work. I know in the past. Of course, that's I guess been put on hold due to
completely.
Everything too, right?
I mean, I did host a couple shows at the start of isolation, and it was all virtual.
Right.
So everything's been virtual.
Right. I think I caught some of those shows. That's right. You were hosting. Yeah, those were good.
They were still fun. Yeah. It was still fun.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was in a room, in an Airbnb and speaking to a little box called a computer. Yeah.
But you miss, I guess, the interactivity you get with the audience.
Big time.
There's no
especially hosting.
To feed off. That's right.
Like I'm the biggest goof when I'm hosting. It's like
I
remember,
and then
I remember. I remember it well. I just choked on my own spit. How lovely.
I remember all your hosting incidences.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Like there was like a wardrobe malfunction or something?
No.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about when I called people in Grassy Narrows prairie people, aren't you?
That's correct, yes.
So I'm so sorry, people of Grassy Narrows. I've never publicly apologized for that.
But in your defense,
better really, really late than never.
We actually were in the prairies.
I know we were on the travel,
earlier,
and you're talking to someone who gets lost going to the bathroom in a new restaurant.
That's right. But considering
I have no compass.
But considering we were surrounded by forest.
Yeah, we were in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
A gorgeous middle of nowhere.
And usually in the prairies there's no forest.
There's no what?
No forest, no evergreen forest, usually. Although I could be wrong. I'm sure there are in different parts.
The tumbleweeds weren't apparent, so that should have been my first clue.
And I remember that show. It was like a long drive.
It was a long drive.
From Winnipeg. Yep. And we went through the States.
Yes, we went the long way around.
The long way around.
And then I got on stage and made a grand faux pas.
I'm sure they've forgotten about that.
I'm sure they have, but now they're like, oh,
which
yeah,
is why you've never been invited back to play
exactly. Or anywhere in the environs.
So when you were attending school at Prince Rupert Secondary School.
Oh my God, yes.
We do our research here, so be careful you want to come on the show. We research everything. Did you ever dream of becoming this person on TV and film and theater and even on stage singing your songs and
yeah, well,
jazz
I was a
music?
very idealistic, romantic kid. I mean, I had, I would tootle off by my own and all my dreams and, anyway, I digress. I always wanted to be an actor. From the moment I saw the creation story in grade 7 at JC Hill in Oswego when I went to school there, I was just struck by the work that they were doing. And I'm like, I was almost speechless. I'm like, I need to do that. Yeah. And it was Rosa Segay and her husband, Melvin. I love those two. They're still busy doing what they do best. And I was just completely influenced. I knew that's what I needed to do, wanted to do. I'd always been a bit dramatic. And like I said, I was quite a romantic, idealistic kid. So head in the clouds. But I started with them. I booked a CBC show that Drew Hayden Taylor had written called Spirit Bay. My God, that's going way, 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 way back. But I thought I would always be a theater actor. And when I started booking TV and film, I'm like, ooh, this pays a lot more.
Right. And do you receive some sort of residuals or royalties for those TV
you do
or
with
film
commercials and stuff like that. Not so much series, but, being Indigenous, being a woman, there's so many stories to tell to Canada and the rest of the world about what it's like being Indigenous and being a woman. And that's where my heart is with all that I do.
And do you see the film and TV industry kind of doing their best to make that happen, or it's still a challenge for... It's
still a challenge. There's still lots of barriers. I mean, hats off to the writers, hats off to the directors, the writers, for bringing these stories forward. And, especially now with everything that's happening, it's so necessary for our ancestors, for us here walking the earth, for the rest of non-Indigenous people to pay us respect and be quiet and let us do our thing, and for them to get to know us as human beings. That's paramount right now. Absolutely. It always has been.
No, for sure.
But, it seems like the writers that have been doing it, the actresses, the actors that have been storytelling and pushing through all those challenges, we are now seeing the results of that. And it's in a very engaging, exciting time to be sharing our stories. And it's so necessary for our youth coming up, for us to keep doing that 100%.
Excellent. So how can we motivate, I guess, the mainstream sort of TV film industry to get more involved or more active in promoting these stories?
Do you want what's lawful as an answer, or I'm joking. You just have to trust humanity, and you have to trust that people do the right thing and pay attention to what's always been in their backyard.
Is it some of maybe the lack of knowledge that they have, or maybe the lack of knowledge who to reach out to?
It's a myriad of things. I mean, society has got all walks of life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our stories are exciting. We have so much what other people call folklore. We have so much traditional knowledge and stories in our bones and our bodies. The stories come out, just to me, most of the stories are amazing, and if that's not interest enough. But definitely, I think Canada and the world should sort of really pay attention to what's going on, because we are coming through proof of genocide.
Right. And it looks like the world is starting to take notice. I see more people, at least,
if they didn't,
sharing articles on social media and asking kind of
right.
for more, resources to educational materials and kind of the real history versus the kind of fake history that the victors had kind of written for.
Damn that
our
Victor.
Country. That's right. Speaking of Victor, I sat with that guy, from...
Evan Adams?
The guy from Young on the Restless. Victor Cheri Maracle, whatever.
Way.
I sat with him on the plane, flying out to LA. This was years ago.
Oh yeah.
And he was all he reminded me of the character in the show.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, he's stayed the same looking for how many four decades.
Isn't that Jennifer Aniston's father?
Yes, it is.
It is. There you go.
Yep. Oh, I was thinking about the replacement Victor. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. Sorry. We digress. I didn't mean to talk about soaps.
Back to reality.
So with your acting, you've been nominated for twice for the KM Hunter Award.
3 times.
3 times. Oh, let's have to be updated. Hold on.
And I was nominated for a CSA for Best Supporting Actress in Blackstone.
Right.
As well. And you find these gems. Oh my God. So film and TV has always been a somewhat elusive gain. And every now and then, as with theater, you get these roles that are just click. I know this inside out. I haven't even started it yet, but I know it inside out, you know? Too Good to Be True was also like that by Cliff Cardinal at the Video Cabaret. Did you guys come to that? I can't remember.
What was the plot again? Just again, I'm not good at remembering
Mom
names.
on the Run with her 2 kids.
We did watch it. We loved it. Sorry, I'm not good at remembering names. It's okay.
I know I'm bad with titles
too. But we did love the show. Yes, absolutely.
No, it was amazing. I love that show, and it was a click. It was the same thing with Blackstone.
Okay.
Yeah. These nefarious characters. My dad was a raucous kind of fellow, and these characters reminded me of him so much. So it was like the back of my hand. I'm like, I know this.
Right.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of roles you tend to take, something that you're familiar with, or are you looking to take roles
the gamut.
That is the opposite of what you are? Or who you are as a person.
I love playing.
Yes, I was asked to play a tree.
And I was the best tree on stage. I love the gamut. I mean, I get even people ask me this in person, are you a cop? I get cop roles quite a bit, which is
roles. People think I'm
odd.
a cop whenever I walk through Parkdale.
I know, I get that too. Isn't that weird?
They think I'm an undercover cop.
Why do I get that?
I'm the exact opposite.
So am I. It's like, no, I'm not. You want to smoke a joint? Oh, sorry. Can I say that now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, it's legal. Yay.
We're on, this is on the internet, so there's no censoring of anything.
Right. I love playing the gamut. I tend to get one or the other. I get the crazy gals. My phone telling me, I'm going to flip that over. I get the crazy gals or I get the nuns or the cops. Yeah, it's kind of wild. But,
didn't you play a murderer once in Murdoch Mysteries?
Way to give it away. Yes, I did.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, if you haven't seen the episode, I figured people would have watched it by now. That was on a few years ago, right? So
yeah, it was.
Sorry if you're just getting into the series now. Maybe
I could have said, I don't know.
That's
who
right.
did it?
You're right. Exactly.
Yes, I stabbed a man with a pitchfork on TV.
Okay, very good.
Moving on.
Okay. Yes, let's move on. So to music. So from acting, music, has that always been a part of your life, or is this something you discovered later?
Well, my sister and I used to sing backup for my dad when he sang at the kitchen table with his guitar, doing, I know all the old country tunes from my dad playing them. And
what are some of your favorites?
I liked Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson. Those are his favorites. And I used to think... 4 hungry kids in the crops in the field. I used to think it was 400 kids in the crops in the field. And I'm like, that's a lot of kids hungry. It was funny. But anyway, so that was sort of my beginning. It was weird. But moved on to, and I always gravitated to jazz, but when I moved to Toronto, I was very influenced by you and other Indigenous bands that I was seeing, and acting was a bit slow. It had hit a bit of a lull, and I'm like, you convinced me to songwrite from a karaoke thing that we went to. You're like, right. Do you write songs? I'm like, I've got 4, and they're on cassette tape.
And I remember hearing those demos, the original demos.
I know.
But they were good. I got the idea, and I thought they were excellent.
And you went on to produce my 3 CDs.
That's right.
Yeah. But I started off singing with my sister and Sandy Schofield and Renee Morisseau in Vancouver, and we were doing traditional hand drum music, and it was amazing. I learned a lot about harmonies from Sandy and Renee, and it was wonderful. It was a beautiful experience. I crave that music sometimes. I crave singing it sometimes. But moving on and doing, I don't play anything. I play a hand drum, I tried to pick up the guitar. After an hour, I was like, that's not for me. I know,
but
it's terrible.
But it was locked in a case, so you couldn't pick it up.
No, I did try
to play the guitar, but I couldn't figure out how to open the case.
Do I flick it, or do I just hit it? Yeah. So songwriting, and it just literally comes to me in moments. I pull over and record into my phone, and it's sort of organic, if you will. But I never thought I would be doing what I'm doing to this degree. I thought I'd probably do theater for a very long time, and that was kind of it. But that was at 19. I was in theater school, you know, and life is such a long, winding road. I love what I've gotten into as far as film and TV, and the jazz music. I'm quite content with that.
Great. And speaking of jazz, you have a show coming up?
I do.
Okay. Tell us about it.
Well, I have a jazz gig coming up at Ontario Place, and it's a brand new small stage on July 31st at 6:30 p.m. sharp, and I can't wait. We get to be on a stage and engage with audience and be live. I can't wait.
And when was the last time you were on a stage? It's been at least 18 months.
It's been more.
More than that, okay.
Because I was shooting the series Unsettled before the pandemic hit, and prepping for that like crazy. And I actually wasn't really taking a lot of other things at that point because I was learning Ojibwe, I was learning the scripts, I was freaking out. It was all new to me. Being a lead, like it was just such a huge responsibility, and I wanted to do a very, very good job. I do work really, really, really hard, and I loved doing that show. But yeah, prior to that, I hadn't been on stage for much. Yeah.
Okay. So what can people expect? I guess it's next Saturday, not this Saturday coming up, but the following Saturday.
Yeah, the following Saturday.
So what can people expect at the show?
Well, we have
pyrotechnics. You're going to come down on a ladder from a helicopter.
I'm riding in on a dragon. Yeah, we're going to do some jazz tunes, some stuff that I've written, and some jazz standards for people, including me. So Brendan Pelche on piano, Walter McLean on percussion and drums, and James McClenley on stand-up bass.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
James,
I know.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see everybody.
We saw him a few months ago because he played on my new record.
Okay.
So, we had set up him actually in the other room. We were still doing the social distancing.
Right.
We all wore masks.
Yeah.
And he's fantastic. I love James. And he always has something interesting and funny to say.
Yeah, and he came on tour with us a couple of times. And I recall a very late night event where I had gone to sleep early which is very unlike me. I had something the next day. I was flying to somewhere or something like that. I think I was starting Blackstone.
Okay.
Anyway.
Right.
He tried to go through the McDonald's drive-through.
Walking, right.
And they said, no, you need to have a car. So he put on a box and pretended it was his car. I tried to get a Big Mac.
I recall that trip.
I'll never forget that.
That was in Whitehorse, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I love that story, though. Oh my God, too funny. I'm sweating like crazy.
It is. It's hot in here. We'll turn on the air conditioning after the show. We do have air conditioning.
No
we just
problem.
have it off because of the microphones.
I know.
I
just want to see my mascara streak down my face.
There was Whitehorse, right?
Yeah. Funny as hell.
Yeah.
There have been some great moments on tour. Amazing moments on tour.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Some we can't even discuss on
like
camera.
That
time. That's right.
When you found the pictures on the wall. So interesting.
Yes, that
Remember?
time. Yeah.
I was like, why is he not looking at me?
There's always something. Or that time, I think it was Dave Deliri.
Yeah.
You had his sheet music, and it was an outdoor stage.
It was Vancouver. It was VGO.
Vancouver. Blew all the sheet music away.
Or the Vancouver Art Gallery.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I was trying to help him by step on it from his sheets from blowing away. So it looked like I was dancing weird to the music, and
his sheets were fluttering away.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's why you have to learn the music.
Right.
Don't rely on charts.
Right.
We'll have Dave on the show eventually too.
Oh,
we'll
good.
question him about that and his methods.
Dave Deliri. Yeah. I call him Seriously Delirious.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's his name. No, he's fun to have on tour with. He's hilarious, actually. I love him.
Yeah, no, Dave's the best. We hung out in Banff together. We were at the Banff Center.
Oh, okay.
Before the pandemic, of course, broke.
I haven't been to Banff in forever.
Yeah, well, the last time we were there was 18 months ago, I guess, before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to get back up
Banff doesn't have any sort of predictable weather happening at any given time. I remember doing a play there in the summertime, The Sunraiser. Way back when, Levi Agoni, Sam Bob, me, Jen Podemsky. I gave birth to Jen Podemsky in that show. I was playing a ghost. Anyway, it was snowing in July.
Oh, well, it's in the mountains, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I love Banff. I would love to go and do some work there while Renata, our Luke, while she's still there.
Yes, absolutely. And the Banff Center is a wonderful place. Beautiful, scenery and great food in the Vistas restaurant and
I know.
the Mac Lab.
The Mac Lab. I remember having dinner there and I was like, oh my God, I want to go out and see the elk. There were a million of them on the lawn. I opened the door in the dining room, this great big glassed-in dining room. It was forever ago. And I'm like, in my animal voice, because I love animals. Probably had some bread in my hand or something. And a waiter comes over. He says, they will charge you. You need to shut the door. You're in danger. I was like, oh,
they will.
Slowly back towards my table. Yeah.
They will do that, yes.
I know.
If they're threatened,
Yeah, but I'm like, come here, little buddy.
That's right. They are still wild animals. I would be careful.
Yes, yeah.
So, are you working on new material then? For
with regards to music?
Album? Yeah.
I actually started writing.
Okay.
I know. I had an impromptu gig. It was virtual about a month ago. And with everything happening, I wrote a scene about two young Native gals who are at residential school. And then from that, it was like, I couldn't keep up with my own thoughts. So that's a bit, I've got I just started writing, I had written with Turtle Gals Ensemble before.
Right.
And then songs.
Okay,
poetry, journaling, whatever. But not screenwriting and not playwriting, certainly. And I'm super excited about it.
Great.
So I've been doing that. Getting back to songwriting, more than likely. I had a couple of ideas that I accidentally erased. Great! On my phone. But writing, and I've been doing a podcast with Odyssey Theatre. I've got another reading of Paddle Song coming up, the one-woman show that I do in Pauline Johnson the Poet.
The one-woman musical, right?
Yeah,
great.
And I'm actually scheduled to do that in Vancouver in October at the Fire Hall Theatre.
Oh, great.
A 2-week run. I know, it's like Pauline Johnson sort of pulls up my clothing every now and then out of the blue, and there's 2 or 3 gigs that happen at once. It's amazing, and it's because I've been doing the show for 10 years.
I remember seeing the show literally 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I said to Donna Spencer, the AD at Fire Hall, I said, well, it's kind of a light show. She goes, that's what we need right now. But it's going to be bookended by Lee Maracle's poetry and Clump of Bob's poetry as well.
Oh, great.
So it's, Maracle squared plus Bob. But I'm really looking forward to it because their poetry is so gorgeous and so hard-hitting and heartfelt. And to have them, quote unquote, open for me is an honor. And then to do the show, which is somewhat light, but also filled with a lot of history as well. And just the strength and the bravery and the wherewithal that Pauline Johnson had way back when to travel and tour by herself. And it's crazy.
Right.
But to me, it's like the through line is Indigenous women matriarch strength.
Right.
And never get enough of that.
So do you see some parallels between Pauline Johnson, what she was doing at the time, and what you're doing currently?
I see a lot of parallels between she and myself. Her father was a chief. He was Mohawk. He spoke all of the 6 different languages, which is amazing to me. Mohawk, Onondaga, Cayuga, Seneca, Oneida, and Tuscarora. He spoke all of them. I speak very few in Mohawk. But anyway, and her mother was English. So my mom is Irish, Scottish, French, English, and my dad was full Mohawk. My mom actually found out that she's part Mohawk a couple years ago as well. I know, it's wild. But just growing up and navigating your way through a world when you're mixed culture, mixed blood, is quite wild. I mean, we moved almost every year. So it was like, okay, who am I going to be this year? I was a serious blender. I found a way to blend,
Right.
And I think, that led to acting too, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Just like, ooh, I can become this. I can become that.
And you're kind of trying on different, I guess, characters at the same time, or
well, it was
is that
all
what you're
about
doing?
survival. I mean, always the new kid is one thing.
That's right.
Not growing up with money.
Right.
My dad was an artist. He's passed away now, and my mom was a teacher. We got by for sure.
Sure.
But we didn't grow up with money, so there was that. And then being mixed blood and being a light-skinned Native person and being the new kid, it was a lot all the time.
Right. Because it feels like you don't quite fit into this sort of right.
Never. And I still don't, and I'm so fine with it now.
Sure. Well, a lot of people feel that way.
I've become super comfortable in my skin. I'm like, this is it.
I think you get to a certain age where you don't care anymore.
You kind of don't about things like that.
Exactly.
It's like, and so it should be. And I think that's also infiltration of colonization. I mean, you really have to blend.
Right.
And it's in society. It's in the fiber of society. It's in the fiber of someone when they're 12 to 14. They already are adopting the indoctrination of their parents or what they see in the media.
Sure.
And Native youth do not see themselves represented. They do now more than ever, but not necessarily when I was growing up.
Sure.
See ourselves reflected back to ourselves on TV or in commercials, or,
That's
it's
right,
like, come on,
right.
Timmies. I know so many Native folks give you zillions of dollars every year. You might want to put a couple of us in your commercials.
Me. I don't like Tim Hortons for many reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll drink their coffee if I have no choice because I'm
in
driving
the northern
on the
reserves,
road. Sure, I get it.
That's all you get.
That's all you get. That's right.
Yeah. And I keep the Northern Reserves in mind a lot. I worked for Inspire and did a lot of workshops in broadcasting way back when. And a lot of folks don't even know about Northern Reserves and how they live and the limited opportunity and, the non-clean drinking water and lack
and
of
how
education.
Expensive things might be.
$90 for some brown lettuce at the grocery store.
Exactly. Yeah. So. So do you see more, I guess, more of that being brought to light in Canadian stories?
It's in our stories
Canadian
now,
mainstream? Right, okay, right.
More and more and more, and needs to be more and more and more.
Right. So who are some of your, I guess, favorite then Indigenous directors and playwrights or writers for television or film? Or
Marie Clements. Great. Yeah, I was in a doc called The Road Forward. I met her when I went to Native theater school in Vancouver. Called Spirit Song.
Okay.
And we became fast friends. We were roommates. She's my sister, and I have nothing but respect for her. She lives for the people. I mean, her stories are all about the people. She's the most selfless person I've ever known. So she's at the top. I've loved doing Drew Hayden Taylor plays in late 20s, mid 30s. I was doing a lot of Drew Hayden. I think I've been in 6 of his shows. I love his writing. The Turtle Gals. I love Janie Lazon. I look up to her. I always have.
Absolutely. She's fantastic.
Michelle St. John.
Yeah, she's great too.
These multifaceted, dynamic, so driven and disciplined artists that I'm happy to call colleagues. Them. God, who else? I admire Tantu Cardinal and all that she's done. And I mean, we're talking about the people that sort of broke open the doors. Margot Kane, these actresses Gary Farmer, Graham Greene, that broke down the barriers and was like, I'm here.
Right.
Get used to me. Right.
That's right.
As far, I really like, oh my God, I can't think of his name right now. Rhymes for Young Ghouls. Birnbaum.
Yeah, I can look that up.
Can we edit this later?
Well, we'll just look up stuff on the go. Hold on, I just lost the connection.
Good.
Okay, right.
Oy vey. Yeah, his work is amazing. I don't know, there's just so much going on. There's so many stories being written, I
have my wrong glasses on, so I gotta do this.
Jeff Barnaby, it came to me. Jeff Barnaby.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm looking up now with my, okay, great, yeah.
His work is something else. It's so different and amazing. I would love to.
Yeah, we saw this. Yeah, this was a great film. 2013, I guess, was the original date it came out, right?
Yeah, and he's done Blood Quantum. He's done quite a bit since.
Yeah, that was a great too. Yeah, we've seen a lot of his work.
Yeah, he's
really good,
epic.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
incredible. Sonia Bolio. Oh my God, I hope I pronounced that properly. I did a short film with her, and she did Rustic Oracle with Carmen Moore, which has made the circuit. I think it didn't go to Cannes. Anyway, there's just so many to list. Right. Off the top of my head, those are a few. There's so many to list that I'm influenced by.
Right.
Yeah, and aspire to be like.
Right.
But in my own way.
Yeah. So what's down the road for you in terms of whether it be music or acting? Do you have some sort of greater goal that you're working towards? Or are you just kind of taking life as it comes?
Well, I still, I want to get more known. I mean, I have a lot to say. I have a lot of writing. I'm going to be...
more known for acting or music and not for like break and enters or...
Probably for acting. Okay. More than likely for acting. But I have a screenplay that I'm going to be co-writing with Michelle Nahaney out in British Columbia. And She's from the Capilano Res, and she's doing a lot of decolonization work. And this is a story that we hatched when I was 19 and she was 21. And we've touched base over the years about it. And even still, like, it is so pertinent, the story that we hatched. So I'm going to be screenwriting. I'm going to be doing a lot more writing because it's something that I've newly tapped into. And there's a lot of passion there for me. Like, I sit down and I can't keep up with my own thoughts.
Wow.
I know. I love it.
You need one of those Neuralink devices that connect to your brain. And
I need an assistant. So that and more music, definitely. Love the music. But I really want to get into directing as well. I want to get into stage directing. I want to get into film and television directing. Writing. I need as an artist to get our stories out there. It is my goal to get the rest of the world to understand or try to or begin to understand what we've been through, who we are, our philosophies, and to be treated equally, at least as human beings. You know, that is my mission. That is my long-term goal. It always has been. And get more ferocious about it.
Well, that's great. Because now you're at
the longer I get into the tooth, the more ferocious I get.
That's right. Because like we just talked about earlier, you get to a certain age where you just don't care anymore about what other people think. And you kind of want to just... Yeah,
and as it is, right? I mean, as it has been, that's why we listen to the elders and stuff like that. But it's super important to me that I accomplish these things, and I will.
Great. So what do you do in your downtime, relax time, when you're not working and trying to change the world to the better?
I spend so much time looking at furniture.
Do you?
On the net and the buy and sell. Okay. I just bought a whole bunch of baskets, beautiful seagrass baskets.
Okay.
I've started getting into
seagrass baskets.
Seagrass baskets. Okay. They're beautiful. I don't know what that is. I looked this up. I just bought a new couch. I bought a little miniature tree. And I'm like, I should have been an interior decorator because this is thrilling.
Oh my goodness.
You know, but I will spend hours looking at cheap deals on, Facebook buy and sell, charcuterie boards. There's some beautiful charcuterie. I know it's kind of boring. But
hey, we're all about charcuterie.
Don't
we have some charcuterie boards? Yeah.
No, these are gorgeous. These are like, I just purchased some raw edge, like a raw edge coffee table.
Right.
And a raw edge side table. I love like looking at the lines in the wood and it's just like really raw. The simplicity look, I love it. I know you guys sort of have that same kind of style. Like not big fluffy chunky furniture, like just clean lines and
functional.
Yes, functional, simplicity. So I've been doing that a lot. I'm going to get a husky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been looking online and
like a dog, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. not like a gas station. Yeah, I'm going to open up a husky gas station,
I really want to own a gas station. After everything I've done. I'd be surprised you'd go with the husky. That's my next plan.
I'd be surprised you'd go with husky gas station and not Mohawk gas station.
Right. Yes, the dog.
Okay.
I'm going to get the dog. Mostly because they talk. They talk to you.
Oh, I know.
You can teach them to talk.
Well, we have Husky that visits here every now and then, Luna.
Oh, yeah.
I think you saw from the photos.
I did. I'm like, whose dog is that?
Yeah. I'll try to find a photo to post.
I used to want to be a veterinarian before I discovered acting. Up until I was 10 or whatever, I was going to be a vet. Oh. I love animals. I talk to them. Embarrassing when I walk with my friends. They're like, oh my God, she's doing it again. I have to talk to them. I know they hear me.
They do.
I love animals. Yeah. So I'm going to get a husky puppy.
Great.
Yeah.
And that's in the near future?
Short-term plan.
Okay. Like this winter or the next summer?
I'm thinking the winter. I've got some stuff coming up for the fall. So I need to be home and I need to be able to do all that and train them. But yeah, I'm going to be true for baby mama.
Well, that's good.
I'm surprised I got that out.
All right. So getting a dog.
Okay, I recently relocated out of Toronto. My mom was going to sort of be there 2 or 3 nights a week. And day 2, she was like, Cheri, you have no idea how much I needed this. And I'm like, I'm being schmoozed. I'm being manipulated by my mother. Okay. And then she had hip surgery pronto. So I'm sort of her caregiver right now.
Right.
And I don't mind it. Getting to know mom as an adult. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
You guys must hang out.
Go
Gallivanting. Do you go on adventures?
Well, once she catches up with her cane and gets in the car, we gallivant for sure.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, she loves to chat, philosophize, drink red wine, and she loves different, experiencing different kinds of foods and stuff like that. She's retired. She's 76, but she's still super fun, and it's been a surprise and a strange turn of events to have my mother as my roommate.
Well,
but it's short term.
Okay.
And I just really enjoy it.
Okay, so no long term. You're not going to get like a condo together or start a sitcom together.
Actually, it's funny you say that. My aunt and uncle were both like, "Oh my god, it's like The Odd Couple." Because when we go visit, and this was just a recent thing because of COVID and pandemic and everything, but the way that she and I bicker at each other, my mom and I, just about living stuff, my aunt and uncle are in stitches. They're like, "Oh my god, it's like The Odd Couple." And my aunt is actually, we should place bets on how long this is going to last.
Oh,
yeah, nice and supportive.
So your mom has been down here for how long? How long you guys been roommates for?
We've been roommates for 4 months.
4 months, okay.
Yeah.
And when is that?
Long months.
When does that term end?
As soon as the lease is up. No.
Okay.
No, we'll see. I don't know. She kind of needs me, so we'll see how it goes.
Of course.
If we were to get a palace, she could have the West Wing, and it wouldn't affect me at all.
Well, there you
she
go.
could ring a bell. I could run her meals to her, and
there you go.
Put her on the treadmill and walk away.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, do you miss leaving Toronto? Was there anything about Toronto?
I don't miss Toronto.
Not at all.
I miss my friends. Yep. And just the general sense that a lot is going on here. Other than that, I needed to get out of Toronto. I was dealing with some trauma and things that happened in my life, and I needed to get out of Toronto when I did. Yeah. And so for that, it's been like a bit of levity.
Sure.
It's been kind of peaceful, which is great. I've discovered some trails and the water where I live and everything. It's been awesome, actually.
Great.
Lots of change. I mean, the first part of the pandemic was like sitting at home and I watched everything on Netflix.
Everything.
There was nothing else I hadn't watched. Okay. I finished all of Netflix. Okay. And then I moved.
Okay.
But it's just been a crazy time. It's been a bit of a head fuck.
Right.
Yeah, for everybody.
No, for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's had to do something to adjust, and everyone's lives were somewhat turned upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see these posts from people like, "Oh, I'm learning a new language. Oh no, I conquered the piano." It's like, yeah, I gained 16 pounds and I ate a pizza.
Well, these are all worthy pursuits.
But everything is getting back to normal, and I feel more grounded than I ever have in my life. So that's a bonus.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So after the pandemic is over, and once everything opens up to travel again, is there any place you're just dying to go? Cuba. Okay.
I mean, not right now because of everything that's going on, but soon.
Right. Okay.
And if not that, then Mexico or the Dominican. I'm turning the big 50 in 5 months.
Okay.
So I
wasn't going to say that on camera.
Oh, I don't care. I've earned it. And I'm proud. No shame in age, man.
Absolutely.
I've been here and I've been working hard and I've accomplished what I have. And I'm looking forward to the next 40 years.
Great. At least.
I have a lot. I have a lot that I want to do still. I have a lot that I want to write, and I have a lot of stories that I want to tell, and a lot of minds that I want to change. And it's all for our people, and getting some understanding, getting some respect, getting equal treatment. And that all happens through story, through our culture, through sharing our culture with them. I always think that's an important thing. We'll lure them in that way.
Well, you often said it before. It's hard to hate someone if you love the culture and the music and the art that they're doing. It's hard to hate that people that are doing that, right? So
but they still do though.
I know, but they still do.
But yeah,
right?
No, definitely. I don't know. There's just I'm re-excited. I'm crawling out of a very, very deep depression, and I'm getting excited about things again. And it's a different thing. It's a new grounding. It's new aims, new goals. It's exciting, but it's also like, again, as you get older, I've got this new point of reference. I've got this new reframing of how I want to go forward.
Right. Because things that you thought were important when you were in your 20s and 30s, now you realize they're not even
I had no idea.
On that top 10 list. That's right.
Yeah. And I mean, again, that's the beauty of being on this earth for so long. I mean, your views change and you become relaxed in some things and more fierce in others. But that's super important to me to get some understanding about who we are. I owe it to my ancestors to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you feel that they're there with you, kind of supporting you?
I do.
Right? Okay.
Yep, I do.
Especially when you hit the stage or you got some big sort of, I kind of feel that power behind me sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, when you do hit stage, that's a great grounding thing. I usually picture just to be on stage and grounded and deliver. I have pictured chiefs in the audience.
Okay.
And that's given me lots of grounding.
Not wearing any pants?
No.
I thought that was the rule, not to get stage fright. Just picture everyone naked.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me. Like, oh, God.
It gets me excited, actually.
Really? Well, excitement's all part of it, Mark. No, I always picture roots going from the bottom of my feet right into the center of the earth. Red roots just connecting me to Mother Earth and the core, and coming right up through my feet and giving me what Sangwai Diso gave me, what the Great Spirit gave me. And that's how you honor the Great Spirit. You completely exploit your own talents and, do the best that you can all the time.
So I guess with that said, we're coming to the end of the show. What advice do you have, I guess, for new and emerging Indigenous artists, whether they're, actors or they're musicians? What sort of advice can you give them that are kind of looking to follow the same path?
I would say as much as you can face who you are 100% in all of your originality, because everyone is so different, and indulge yourself. Do a bit of writing every day, do a bit of nature every day, do something towards your career every day. And practice positive thinking. I know it's hard, but practice, make it a habit. Even if that stupid fake it till you make it, kind of true. Like really visualize and picture where you want to go, and let everything else that might get in your way fall by the wayside, and go.
That's excellent advice. So what are some of the, I guess, pitfalls or things that people get hung up on and they're unable to kind of progress to the next step of whatever they're trying to do?
Well, I mean, everybody's different. Everyone's got things that are in their path that have deterred them or made them fall off their train of thought, their trajectory for a little while. Don't beat yourself up. Get back on again. And, I've certainly self-sabotaged myself over the years. I mean, I grew up in I'm still getting over my childhood, for fuck's sakes.
I think we all are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my parents were residential school survivors, and my dad met my mom saddled with all this baggage, and I'm still sorting through it. Like, one of the things I would say is no shame in counseling. Counseling has saved me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Get that stuff out, and it's all okay. And hard as it is, forgive yourself and love yourself. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's not enough people do that.
I know. And it just, there's nothing wrong with you.
Sure.
Great Spirit made you perfect. No matter who you are, Great Spirit made you perfect.
Well, that's excellent.
Go with that.
Absolutely. Any last comments, words, criticisms?
It's great.
This goes out to Cheri.
It's great to see you guys.
That's good to see you.
It's great to see you guys, and thanks for having me. And I don't know, just keep thinking positive out there, everybody. We all need to stick together right now with all of our babies coming home. Just think positive. Try and think positive.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for being on the show, and we will have other exciting guests come up in the following days. So stay tuned.
Okay. Are there snacks?
Well, yeah.
Are there free snacks?
There are. There is all kind of. There's actually a green room over there. So we're gonna.
Thanks for having me on the Church of Mark.
Turn on the air conditioner again.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I'm all shiny. Bye.